NFL football. We have a rematch from last year's NFC Championship game. The Giants visit the 49ers. Chuck Edel, you have a selection for us in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the total in this game. You know, if you look at the yards per play, both these teams are 1 and 2. Giants 6.5 yards per play. San Fran right behind them, 6.4 yards per play. Both leading the NFL. Now they play each other here. San Fran has played 3 weak defenses in a row here. You know, Buffalo, they played the Jets, they played Minnesota. They gave up some points in that game. This is the best offense that the 49ers are going to have to play. Meanwhile, in the offseason, I really feel like the 49ers really made some good moves for that offense. They could run the ball now, but they could also throw the ball. I think the number 44.5 might be just a tad shy here because of the reputations. Again, 49ers, we think defense. They're playing a little bit more open. They're going to have to, they can't play conservative against this Giants type offense here. And I think it might get to be like a little bit of a wide open game. I made that number 47 in this one.
Very good. VR, your thoughts on this?
I want to tell you this. I'm fortunate to get to go to that Tuesday meeting, the famed Tuesday meeting. And one thing I learned there when it comes to totals, and it kind of was against everything I knew, it was that if you get 2 good quarterbacks, 2 high-level elite quarterbacks, don't be afraid to look to the over. It may appear to be the public side, but you don't want to really be sitting on an under ticket when you got 2 elite quarterbacks. And last week, perfect example, I thought you have the Saints game, and you have 2 elite quarterbacks, and is the number inflated? I knew all the public's on the over, and so yeah, it went over. And we saw the day before, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Yeah. Everybody's going on the over, and yet, even though the total may be inflated, it got there. And I think in this case, you got 2 elite quarterbacks, but with the opposite. And that's what you said. Because of the perception that their defensive teams, at least San Fran is, you may be getting a bargain on the total.
Yeah, again, you tell me you're the line maker. Maybe last year maybe the total would have been 44.5 last year, but I think offensively and defensively, I don't think the Giants are as good. In fact, the Giants are second to last in football, giving up yards per play. Maybe the line would have been 44.5 last year, Chris, but has it been adjusted, you think, for this new offense that San Fran's been running?
Well, I think you look at last year's championship game. It was a low-scoring game, played very close to the vest, and I think that certainly comes into play when you make a number this year. Now, should it? It probably shouldn't come in that much. I mean, the situation is completely different on a mid-season game versus a championship game where loser goes home, winner gets to go to the Super Bowl. It's an entirely different thing. Also, there's not bad weather, but it was a little bit of a sloppy field in San Francisco last year when that game came about. So I certainly see that. And I throw one more thing in. Yeah. As a bookmaker, I know this. Don't be contrarian just for the heck of it.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Exactly. Because of the fact, everybody's going to go over when you see Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. So as a professional, you think, not just to fade the public, because I'm not getting 11 to 10. So I'm not going to get rich fading the public unless I'm getting 11 to 10. But with that said, you got to look at it and say, aren't the odds makers' job to protect their client, the sports books? So they know to protect them, they got to send out an inflated number. And yet, when you get 2 elite quarterbacks, you got to hold your breath. That's what I've learned. And I don't want to be that guy holding my breath when you see Eli Manning, who is as elite as they come. And I got to say, San Fran, no one was giving Alex Smith too much respect. But the kid's getting it done.
He's turned into a very, very good quarterback.
And Giants' philosophy is let's outscore everybody.
Yeah, especially with their defense now. And the other thing is, last year in the playoff game, Harbaugh's philosophy, let's face it, was let's run, play very conservative. Let's let our defense win the games. And he was successful.
No turnovers.
Yeah, no turnovers. Play it close to the vest. Our defense will create some turnovers, maybe.
Short field.
Short fields. We'll win an ugly game, but we'll win the game. This year, though, off season, they made, they got Manningham, they got the other wide receiver, Randy Moss, and of course the Crabtree's starting to get a little older. They got
Vernon Davis.
Yeah, Vernon Davis. They got running backs.
They got weapons.
Running back. And he's playing it a little more aggressive this year offensively than he did last year.
Well, I think he has more faith in Smith too.
For sure.
Smith has grown within Harbaugh's system. I think Harbaugh's letting him do a lot more things.
It's something just to keep an eye on, because I don't want to mislead anybody. Smith did have a bad finger. They're saying it's okay, but you want to keep an eye on that situation.
For sure.
And the one last thing I would throw out, if you do bet the under, you need to win it. If you bet the over, sometimes you can get lucky.
A turnover here or there,
Yes.
and the complexion of the game changes
I
completely.
had the over in the Bears-Jacksonville game this week. I know about that one.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all you need to know. All right, we've talked about it. Let's make it official.
We're watching this Sunday, two of the better offenses square away. Number 1 and number 2, San Fran Giants offensively. Defensively, Giants can't stop anybody. San Fran playing much more aggressive. A number of 44.5. I think it's just a little too low. I like the over here.
I think he made some really good points.
I think so. I didn't realize they were 1 and 2 in yards per play. That means an awful lot. I think the Giants sneak up on people. A lot more of an over team than people think. You think of Coughlin.
And what I like about the Giants, too, is I don't care what defense you put in front of them, they're going to score some points.
Yeah.
I mean, they're an efficient offensive machine with Eli back there. So as good as San Fran is defensively, I think they know going in they're going to have to score some points. You're not going to shut down the New York Giants.
Yeah, and Giants are in trouble shutting down some teams against Cleveland. That game was over 800 yards
Exactly.
in that game. So
exactly.
they're letting up some yards.
Okay, we're going to come back with more NFL. VR, the Vegas runner, is going to give us a pick on Dallas at Baltimore. And don't forget, folks, you can see all our videos at pregame.tv.